Hello, my name is Dr. Scott Young with Hearing Solutions Centers, and we're in the second of the series of our in-ear monitors. But today we're going to talk about custom versus non-custom. Coming right up. Non-custom and custom in-ear monitors. People think they're the same. They say, well, it's an in-ear monitor. What are you talking about? Customized, made exactly for your ear canal, done by an audiologist. Do you really want to have an audiologist doing that? Non-customized in-ear monitor. Non-customized is just off the shelf. You could use it with anything. Now, can I say that the technology inside may be similar? Well, the drivers might be similar. I mean, quite a few different things might be similar. But what's the difference? You see, when you custom build an in-ear monitor, we can pull away as much as 31 decibels of sound. Now, some people will disagree with that exact number, but that's what I have found overall. Now, that's because it covers up the helix area, it covers up the canal. If you tried to push it in, you're not going to hear any more with it. Whereas any in-ear monitor that is non-customized, so this could just kind of go into my right ear with this, and if I have it in the ear, it sounds okay. I mean, when I'm going, and then if I pushed it in just a little bit more, I'll hear even more. Now, see, this non-customized type of plug has been around for a long time. Obviously, we've had lots and lots of little things. But let me just give you a couple from the hearing aid industry. You see, in the 90s, we had something called Bausch & Lomb. Bausch & Lomb actually does all the contacts, right? And so they came out with this ribbed kind of thing that would fit in the ear. It was horrible. I hated the thing. It was so difficult to work with and never fit very well, stuck out of the ear quite a bit. Then there was a company called Songbird by Johnson & Johnson. You're getting the idea that these venture capitalists want to jump into the game with that. And they walked in with this massive box for a little tiny hearing aid. And so the guy puts it in his ear, goes, this is how cool it is. I was like, well, where's the left one? Well, you just put that one in your other ear. I said, so one's sticking up here, one's sticking down here? What? I mean, it blew its way out of the industry. It's still a little bit online, but you know, it's a bunch of silliness because non-customized things never can work very well, especially when it doesn't go down the canal. Now, we've talked about this in past episodes. Why is it that it's not that big of a deal? Well, non-customized ones may go as much as the first bend of the ear canal. Mostly they just go into the opening. And that's why when you push it in, you can seal it off even better. But you're still not hearing the sounds. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, if you're just a casual musician, it's not that big of a deal to you. But you're just someone that listens to music all the time, like running or just around your different places. So what? And you might say, so what? I want to hear well. I understand, but I'm going to tell you that a musician is listening for the mix between the bass and the drums. He or she might be listening to different instruments within the mix, how the bass, the treble, all these different points happen on stage. So when you're on stage, you're struggling to be able to hear and understand as effectively as you can. Now, when we have customized in-ear monitors, one of the things that I do all the time, I say, put in your in-ear monitors. So they get their thing in, set it up, and instantly they knock their phone from 2/3, 3/4 of the way up, all the way down to 1/3. And there's never been an exception in that case. It's because they're hearing the sound at a lot lower volume. You see, you have to put that thing up at a higher volume just to be able to hear the same thing that you're doing here. And guess what they say? Well, it's possible that you could be damaging your ears. Yeah. Now, if a concert is at 110 decibels, some are 120, 130 decibels, let's say you're 110 decibels and all you're doing is 15 decibels of knockoff with that, at best. I mean, that's if it does it perfectly. It's more likely about 8, 9 decibels, 10 decibels at best. So you're still having damage to your hearing. Whereas when you put in a customized in-ear monitor, you can knock it down from 110 to 89 decibels. Hey, that's within the normal range. And that's an effective way of being able to protect your ears. Isn't that important to you? Now, if you've watched the first video, and I really recommend that you do that, if you've watched the first video, I said that there are 3 points that we talk about with in-ear monitors. The manufacturers that are pushing the musicians, and the musicians that are listening to the in-ear monitor companies. These in-ear monitor companies want to tell you all the artists they do, and that's fine. I'm fine with whoever they want to work with. But if you don't have customized in-ear monitors, and if you're not doing that, you're not getting the real experience. You can't even compare a 2-driver, 3-driver, 5-driver of any type inside of that monitor without it customized. And here's the thing, 15% of even perfectly made ear impressions by an audiologist, very, very good stuff, still has to be modified by that audiologist. And you say, how can that be? It's exactly to the ear. And I'd say, exactly right. But there are portions of the ear that might not like it. I'm going to give you an example on my ear. Deep down in my ear, on the front end of this, which is the anterior section, I never can stand smell. I mean, anything touching against it. On the back edge of it, on the posterior section, I can't stand anything there. So I always have to take that down just a little bit because I have a nutty ear. It's just what happens to us. And so that is the basic idea that we've talked about with customizing it. Now, next week, we're going to talk about which in-ears are best. We're going to talk about the parts and the things that go along with the in-ear monitors. And then lastly, we will talk about one of the most important conversations that no one understands, drivers. Which to get? Why should you get one versus the other? So important to have this conversation for musicians because there's so much misinformation. Do you want to have the truth? Subscribe. Come on and check it out. Thanks so much.